All right, all right. Welcome to what
I
do
had tissue all in my hand. It's a film crew. I like film. What up, film crew?
there you go. We have donned y'all the film crew. We're gonna invite y'all into our creative lives. So as you may or may not know, that is Shay. I'm Rell, and you are the film crew.
And you'll always know Ralph because they'll have on his on location hat.
On location hat and probably wearing black too. On location uniform.
I was gonna do black today, but
I like I dig this.
well, this is like a fall color, so I shouldn't even be wearing this anymore because we're like in the spring, going into summer. But
I dig the fall swag. I like the earth tones.
thank you.
It's like I think that's like after black, like clothes wise. Like even though
Oh,
red
you
is
like earth tones after black? Yeah, even
yes,
though red's your favorite color.
red's my favorite color,
You're
but
in the
like
West Coast, so you can't be wearing red like that
oh no,
here.
nah, we ain't doing that. But anyway, we have an exciting stream for you today. Welcome. We're gonna be talking about the new edition or
Newest
replacement,
space, newest space
replacement
beyond the gates.
for Beyond the Gates. Also, we're going to be talking about Marvel's new trailer for their series Ironheart and maybe addressing some of the negative comments that have been slung at it and see if it was warranted or not. We're going to go in unbiased and tell you if it looks trash or looks good. And lastly, we'll do, of course, you can't go wrong when you do a Tyler Perry uh, discussion. He dropped a new trailer for Straw, his series starring
Is it a series?
film. Sorry,
No.
sorry, because he has a series coming up too, a
Yeah.
two-part series. Sorry, because he loves diversifying. Um, he has a new film called Straw.
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe he actually does have a series too, but I got the two confused. And
Both shot in 4 days, so it don't matter.
But without further ado, we are we are I specifically I'll say this. I have become a soap opera fan. Let the
Crazy. I have gotten him on YA and soaps.
Oh no. One YA.
I think you're gonna be watching all of them.
Nah, definitely not. Definitely. Well, first of all, let's segue. The one YA program that we are talking about is
Forever.
Forever. And the only reason I watched it is because um, it had some color to it, let's say, so to speak. But if it was
To all the boys.
to all the boys, Emily, all the any of one of
Emily
those,
Paris is not
it
YA.
is
She is grown.
she's grown. Like
It
this,
looks like a YA show.
yeah, it looks like one. But well, okay, well,
Well,
hold on.
it's like
Mid
it's not even
A.
Sex in the City though, because like Sex in the City, because New York is gritty looking, even though it was pretty and glossy, Sex in the City still looked
How old is that?
like a New York show. Emily in Paris is like pretty and shiny and like so colorful because
Yeah.
it's based in the City of Light, so it's just so
Oh yeah, she's mature.
yeah.
Yeah,
In
you're
the
right.
show, she plays like mid to late 20s, so
Yeah.
she's not like
Oh, she's in
straight
her,
out of college.
she's in
She's in her
straight out
30s.
of college.
She's in her 30s now, right?
Yeah, mid 30s. But anyway, I'm not gonna
She
be
plays
watching.
20 something in the show.
All right, fine. So we'll strike Emily in Paris off the record. We're not watching any other YA unless it's the quality of Forever and it has the diversity of Forever. But
Yeah,
other than
that's
that,
another thing, Ralph. Well, To All the Boys is a Korean, like a Korean family. It's based around a Korean family.
God bless them. And I think the Korean community should really support them and support that show. I'm supporting a black show, and speaking of supporting black shows, Beyond the Gates. And I've once I heard it was announced, and I told Shayla like I really wanted to watch it because I really want to give them as much support and viewership as possible. And then when I learned a little bit about the background of how very few black soaps have one
Survive.
survive well been made
Been there.
and survived. I really was like gun ho on trying to watch it, and yeah, it has its high points, has its low points. We're going to discuss one of the low points that may hopefully turn into a high point, and that's with the new edition to the show, which is
Keith Robinson is the new face Beyond the Gates. And Keith Robinson, just for those who are not familiar with him, you may know him from Dreamgirls. He was in the film Dreamgirls alongside Yancey, aka Queen Bee, and of course EGOT.
mm, mm,
EGOT winner Jennifer Hudson,
one of the
who won
few.
an Oscar. Yes, one of the few, 18 in the world, who won an Oscar for, I think she was number 17, for her role in the film, the lead role
Yeah.
within the project actually. And he also was in This Christmas. For those of you that like that's the film
Yes,
with
yes, yes,
Chris
yes, yes,
Brown
yes.
and
I was gonna say that's the one with Chris Brown. Yeah.
Lauren London. Also, he appeared on shows where he had either reoccurring roles or main roles, but he had a role in American Dreams. I don't know if you remember that. It was like a period piece that was, I think, based in the 50s, 60s or on
Yeah.
NBC. He also was in Half and Half, in a reoccurring role in there, and A Million Little Things, which was on ABC.
Okay.
So he's had a pretty consistent career.
Yeah.
And now he joins Beyond the Gates, and Rel got to hear for the first time, probably ever in soap
That
history.
was
He
crazy.
never heard this. Those of us that grew up on our mothers, maybe like cleaning to the soaps, or our grandmothers or whomever, like having the soaps on during the day if we were at their house in the summertime. Remember hearing when they replaced a main cast member with a new actor. Remember hearing the role of such and such is now being played by. So Rel got to hear it for the first time because the role of Ted Richardson, who was formerly played by Maurice Johnson, is now being played by Keith Robinson.
Was that voice the same?
It sounded like this because normally, like, it's like this guy, this VOD. And I remember the first time I heard it as a little girl, it was like, and it's because it's a whole shock to your system too when they announce it,
Yeah.
because one, you're hearing someone tell you
Yeah.
why you're seeing a new face,
Yeah. No.
and two, you're trying to take in the fact that you're seeing a new face in a role with someone you've gotten pretty comfortable with, because they give you a little minute to see if the replacement if to see if the person that's been originally
Yeah.
cast works. And sometimes they do it. I was reading this today, that it's not always just about if someone doesn't work out as an actor
Of
or
course.
isn't that isn't necessarily resonating with the audience. Sometimes they do it because that actor might be taking a another project for a short period of time. So say they got a role on a primetime series, or they got an
Yeah.
opportunity to do a film, they'll leave for that. Or, you know, it just didn't work out creatively and
Yeah.
they exit that person stage left and bring in another person. And so that's why sometimes if you saw a temporary character, for those of us that remember seeing our, any female family members watching the stories when we were little, that if you heard a replacement, the VOG replacement voice come in and they replaced your actor for a temporary period of time and they came back, they might have had
Oh,
another, maybe they took a leave of absence or had a
I
just.
didn't even know they did that.
Oh, they've done that too. Yes, yes. I used to think it was because they tried a new actor, it didn't work out,
Roll them out.
and they knew that the audience wanted the other one back. That's what I thought it was. I didn't know that sometimes it could be like maybe someone really did have a baby, like
Yeah.
for a female actress, female actor, they had a baby,
Yeah. Yeah.
or maybe they had a vacation or whatever planned, and they might have taken like another actor might have had something planned or another project, and they've taken a leave of absence, but they still had scripts for that character.
Mm.
So that they would just bring in someone to play that role temporarily.
It was kind of funny too. Like, hold on, let's do it. So, um, Keith Robinson's
Yeah,
at the
you didn't
door.
see him from the front at first.
Yeah. So they open the door. Wait, did they go to commercial before, or they said okay? So
And
he
then
opened the door. It was just like
and it's just the reveal, because the man that played the role prior,
yeah.
Maurice Johnson, is significantly, like, not so much taller. He's taller,
Oh, he was much. I was like,
but
oh,
he's
Keith Robinson's
physically
short. Yeah.
he's a smaller man,
Yeah.
and in stature and in body
Yeah.
weight
Yep.
too. Like Maurice Johnson is bulkier and
Yeah.
he's more built. So it does take you out when you see it. You're like, oh, okay. So it definitely was, it's kind of Rel's in our dinner thing during the
Yeah.
week because we stream it. So that's how we take in Beyond the Gates. And I mean, they started out super dramatic, which is great for a new soap.
Pew, pew.
So it brought us in right away. But I will say, with the role of Ted Richardson, and Rel noticed it, want him to tell you all how he noticed the difference right away. I will say that no offense, being an actor is probably one of the hardest jobs to do in our industry. Like a lot of people will say, with us being a producer and editor, like you, we probably have like some of the least glamorous jobs, but it is still they're very difficult jobs. But I say being an actor too, because it's a couple of things you're up against. You're up against creatively how someone envisions the role and how you're playing it. So whomever is making the decisions in terms of the creative, if they're not feeling like you're fulfilling that,
Yeah,
then that's the pressure you have on you too if you're carrying through that performance. And then on top of it, you're playing someone completely different from yourself. So
yeah,
you have to really embody what that character is supposed to be. So I think it's really hard. So I give credit to people that are actors. I think being an actor is probably one of the hardest things to do. Having worked with actors in the past, it is a very emotional process too, because you really have to come out of yourself to take
yeah,
on this persona. And depending on the period of time you're filming it in, you have to do it very quickly. So always give credit to people, and stage is on another level.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
But how did you said you noticed right away?
Wait, before we
Okay,
jump into
sorry.
that, first I gotta do that. I gotta do it. He paused, right? Like before the
Oh,
dialogue,
this is how you're introduced, showing how
and then
Keith is
and then
so extra.
and then there was like a little pause before the dialogue started, and then he said, then you hear the voice go,
The role of Ted Richardson is now being played by Keith D. Robinson.
"What the hell are you doing here?"
Because they told you. Oh, that's another thing too. They always have a significant pause in the scene because they want to make sure that they give time for the voice of God to say, who's now playing the part.
so
That's something I forgot. You're right.
so it was funny. I was sitting there like, oh, they actually gave him time to for the VO to come over. So that was kind of interesting. It was so cool to see it. But the thing that Shayla is alluding to was okay. So I got to give you context. So I forgot what I was doing dishes or something like
We
that.
were
I wasn't.
eating, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
were we eating
Yes,
at
because
specific time?
that's when I actually lose you. I have you any other time until this
Nah,
food.
but I feel like I wasn't. It wasn't eating at that
Because you
specific
had your
time.
head down in the salad and you were like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I'm not even looking up and I can tell the difference just by hearing the cadence and the way he's
Yeah.
delivering the lines and the pauses. That's what you said. Now, I don't know.
I feel
Look,
like I was over here at the dishes
you were
though.
eating.
I think I finished eating fast.
No, because you know how I know when that plate is there.
Well, it was the same thing with me doing the dishes. I was locked in. All right, we will agree to disagree. I was doing something that took my attention
Guys,
away from the show.
who has the better memory out of the two?
That's I don't know. I'm questioning that these days. First of all, guys, fellas, I'm talking to you. You know how selective women's memories can be. Anyway, anyway,
My memory is not selective.
oh, it's very well. All right. Anyway, regardless of what I was doing, I was not paying attention. I was looking down, and
Yeah.
I was listening to the dialogue, and I was like, man, he was like pausing at the right moments and emphasizing certain words. I was like, oh, this is different. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I didn't. And like I said, like Shayla, she will be working with actors in the future, so I understand that she's gonna approach this very delicately. I personally don't care. Um, to be honest, I because I never really watched soaps, so I don't know
Yeah.
what scale to gauge a good or bad soap actor on, right? Like so, this was my first soap, so but I could tell maybe one of the let's say like Danny,
Yes.
um,
Carla Mosley.
right? Like she's one of our favorites,
Yeah.
and she's very passionate, very like
Expressive.
very expressive, and you could tell when she's in a scene that there's levels to even her compared comparable to other actors who are in the scene, and aside from the actor who played Ted Richardson. aside from him, right? You could tell that she's a really polished actress, right? So when he was there, it was like a little bit, yeah, it was, felt like he was a little stiff. But
Yeah.
there was one thing in particular which Shayla really, really pointed out.
Yes.
And I mean, she could probably point out other things that bother her, but there was one thing that she pointed out that I didn't realize at first.
Yeah.
So if you go back and watch some of the early episodes, please let us know if you see this. This dude would do this.
He
Like,
was slay.
yeah, yeah. Like either
While he's standing there talking to you too,
while he's delivering lines,
it's
he's like
delivering.
swaying. And I'm like, why is he? And then Shay was like, is he? Why is he swaying like that? And I was
Because I
like,
noticed it like probably after we'd been watching for a couple weeks
yeah,
or two, maybe like a month.
yeah,
And then it kept going. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like his thing.
yeah.
So it is his thing to sway. And I was like, oh my gosh, why is he swaying all the time? So
Because when she said it first, I then the same episode, I kept pointing it out. I was like, he's swaying again. He's swaying again. Oh my God, he's a swayer. What is that about? So it was weird. But go ahead.
yeah, he definitely has a sway thing. And I think that was something that was distracting and it was hard to it was hard to really consume his scenes because you were paying attention to him. There was so much, it was movement when it didn't need to be movement. And
Mm.
it was just like, okay. And I think it might have been something assisting him in remembering his lines because
Mm.
for those of you that know, like soap operas their turnaround is so fast and they're taping so many episodes at once.
Yeah.
And so it is a lot, they are consuming a lot of scripts all the time. And so trying to remember, your lines, I'm sure it's a skill set. Like a lot of people think that soap
Oh God.
actors
Yeah.
are not some of the strongest. They are. There's a reason that there's some of them that go on to have even, bigger and longer careers in other
Mm.
parts of the industry where they do films and they do other narrative work piece
Right
like
now,
primetime
the
series.
one actor right now.
Michael B. Jordan, he
Yeah.
started on the soaps.
Start on the
So
soul.
it definitely, or at least started to gain recognition
Yeah.
on because he was in movies. I think as a small
Yeah. Small
child.
child. He was in Heartball.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So that's another thing too. That's so there's a lot of Chadwick Boseman initially had
Hmm.
tried soap operas too. So there is a lot to be said when you're a soap actor that I think a lot of people don't get credit for in terms of the type of preparation and the work that it goes into being it is a very hard skill set.
Yeah.
Also, another thing too, he on his way in Maurice's last few weeks, the storyline for his character was probably some of the most challenging
Yeah.
of the character's story at this point in the season. And the delivery was so flat.
Mm,
I
wouldn't.
think that's the best way
Yeah.
I can
Flat
say
is
it. It
good.
was very
That's good.
flat that it took away from the levity of the gravity of the
Yeah.
moment. It was just
It was distracting.
it was very distracting. And
He was so bad and flat, it became like instead of blending in the background, he stood out because he was so flat. Yeah.
I mean, like it's one of those things where he's kind of become a pariah, and like so everybody was coming to cuss this dude out, and it was like a one person scene. Like the other
Yeah.
person in the scene was basically talking to just him standing there going,
Yeah.
"I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
and I messed up,
Yep.
but I want to do things to make things right." And that's all I can say because I want people to watch it and I don't give away. But it was just like,
Yeah.
and so Rel was eating when Keith Robinson first started to deliver his lines. He had a scene
Delicious.
with he had a scene with the young lady that plays his daughter.
Yes.
I was going to
Wait.
slip and say,
Oh, yes. His daughter.
I
Gotcha.
didn't want to
Yeah,
give
yeah,
away
yeah,
the
yeah, 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 yeah. If you
because I want
say,
people to watch Beyond the Gates. I really want them to support. This is a Black female uh, run show.
mm-hmm.
The creator's a Black female, Michelle Valjean, and she carries weight. This woman comes from some heavy soaps, so she
2000
has
episodes.
yes, she is won several Emmys for her soap writing. So she is it's definitely if you grew up and like the stories at any point in your life, you're going to get that juice,
Mm,
because she definitely brings it, in terms of the storylines that she's drafting for these characters.
yeah.
But when we were sitting here and Rel was like, I'm not even looking at the screen and I can hear his delivery is better than his
Yeah.
predecessor. And it's sad because the thing about it is it, like, again, it is very hard to be an actor, but it, it's and it's even harder, I will say, to be a black actor because you don't get as many opportunities just because we are such a small part of the population, and people feel like our representation doesn't need to be as vast because of that in terms of who's in charge. But I think that, or who makes the decisions, I should say.
Yeah.
But I think that that was what was such a letdown with his delivery. I mean,
Yeah.
with his performance. It was kind of, because I've seen people getting scooped off soaps where they were actually, I thought they weren't bad.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, and I've liked some of their replacements even better, you know. So definitely it was something there where the creators or the showrunners of the soap opera wanted to try something different. But I definitely will have to say it was kind of, we were excited, like we were counting down, because when we found out that Keith Robinson was joining the cast, we were like,
Kept
oh, when
checking.
is he coming? What's the date?
I kept checking the date.
Because especially because his story, like the crux of what his storyline is for this season, really kicked in at the time he was rapping,
Yeah.
and it was just like he was just standing there half the time. I was like, oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
we need someone that's going to actually care. And see, that's the problem. Like, where
Emo.
it was the most emotional and you probably would want to have the stronger performance, those moments have passed. Like, Keith Robinson is coming in to do the cleanup, like the cleanup scenes,
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like you didn't
yeah,
get to see someone handle those super dense scenes
yeah.
previously. So
I wonder how it would have played with him,
that's what
because
I'm saying.
Homeboy was just standing there getting
Oh
like
man,
shots fired
I
at
mean,
him. And it's just
killed.
like he was just
People
standing there.
calling him less than a man. I mean, it is like rough,
But in a weird way, it kind of worked. Because
especially because he was a bad actor.
I feel like
I'm
if
gonna
Keith
say like
Robinson,
bad
yeah,
accent there.
oh,
We
if
don't know. It just wasn't the role for him. I'm gonna say that.
it wasn't the wrong. If Keith Robinson was there, he would have probably showed so much emotion. You would have probably been like, man, kind of rooting for him in that way. But I don't know. It worked out in that way, like where this dude is just it gave everyone an opportunity to punch him in the face, basically, metaphorically. So it was like he kind of deserved to get punched in the face for what he did. But like Keith Robinson would have been like, he gives that presence like I don't know. I wanted to see him as a good actor,
Yeah.
how he would have emoted by people. He was truly wrong for his actions, and but Keith Robinson, the way he acts, he don't come off like no sucker. So I wanted to
He
see,
doesn't.
right? I wanted to see if he would have been like, I hear you, I respect that, but you ain't gonna talk to me like that. Like
And I
I
think he
like,
would have, because I do feel like it is interesting because every actor brings something different to the
yeah.
role. Like it, so I do think we might have seen what we expected to see from that character in those moments. So that's why I was kind of like, ugh.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, new character, I mean, new actor now in the role of Ted Richardson. Those who've been watching Beyond the Gates would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on, Keith Robinson's first week
Yeah.
in the role. He actually came in the middle of the week too, I
It
think.
was weird. It
Yeah.
was just,
Oh, that happens all the time.
oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
I kept thinking
They
it
won't
was,
start off the week with him. Like you might see him on a Monday, on a Tuesday, it's a new actor. You're like, oh, no, that is very soap opera. Like, and I think that's what I love about it because it's a black soap doing it. I'm so used to just watching stories with,
yeah.
you know, a cast that is primarily white, and you just get so used to people being swapped in and out that
Yeah.
you're like, okay. But seeing it with people that look like us, it is kind of funny because you're like, oh my gosh, they were just like, peace out,
Yep.
brother. Bring this brother
I
in.
mean, like it was nothing like you said, the middle of the week, because I kept thinking it was going to be on a Monday because I thought they were going to end it and it would be funny. You see, but you know why it's smart that they do it at the end of the week? I mean, in the middle of the week, I just thought about it, like the trailer for the week.
And it's the way they film soaps too.
Yeah.
I noticed that because Josh Duhamel, you know, who is on the series that a lot of people love on Netflix, Ransom Canyon, the
Hmm.
romance series, he was on All My Children for a long time, and they
Mm.
talked about how they were saying how you might be filming Monday's episode on a Thursday and
Okay.
filming like a Friday episode on a Tuesday. Sorry, come on, get something in here. Like his long lashes, so he always gets things stuck in his long lashes. So it on a Tuesday,
Yeah.
and then so because it's so out of order and wacky that it's one of those things where they might have recorded his episodes in the way it fell in the schedule, and plus because it's a CBS based, you know, CBS soap opera. CBS went through so many changes with Beyond the Gates coming out. March Madness happened, which
Yep.
pushed its schedule off, and
The Pope.
also the Pope passing and the conclave.
Yep.
So it was a few major news and sports things that happened that pushed a lot of Beyond the Gates airing. So also, but they did pretty much stick to when he was supposed to debut in
Yep.
May 15th, and then he came around the time. So it was definitely, and it was crazy because we were kind of counting down for a long time because we knew it was May. And when May started, we were like, when's it gonna happen?
Yeah.
When's it gonna happen?
Yeah.
But then we had just kind of got used to Homeboy, and so we just kind of went with the flow with our dinner viewing. And then when it was like literally the role, I was like, oh my gosh, it's him. He's finally. It did take us back
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
weren't doing the countdown anymore. So it's crazy.
And it was jarring for me. I get it, even though
Yeah.
it was highly anticipated and highly appreciated. Like I said, from the first dialogue that I heard, I was like, "Oh, this is levels to this." He's like a really, he's like,
Yes.
I mean, he's even one of like,
Because I think he's a stage actor too, so
oh,
he's
okay.
trained. Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, even with the cast now, as they're getting we're up to episode 52 or 53, I think somewhere around there, and the cast still, I think, is growing and getting better. I think Danny, like I said, is one of our favorites, but he came in and it was just like, oh, this is like he's
I mean,
better.
he's even some of the
Yeah,
vets is like,
yeah. I was like, oh, like when I tell you, no joke, I heard it. I didn't look at his facial expressions. I didn't see his mannerisms. I just heard how he was delivering lines, and I was just like, oh,
he's done a lot of prime time
let's
too.
go.
And he worked on shows like NYPD Blue, you
Oh,
know,
okay.
that those it's like uh it's just different.
Yeah,
It's like you said, it's levels to this.
yeah,
And you definitely can see that now in terms of that. I also felt like it caused other people to act up,
yeah,
if that's a good term to use, but
yeah.
just to their performances improved opposite of him. So people that
Mm,
even may have come off somewhat weaker felt like it felt stronger to me.
yeah,
It's wild. I can't. I
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah. Some of the younger kids.
well, like the girl that plays his daughter.
Yeah,
I mean, the struggle be real sometimes, and Lord forgive me, but oof. And that first scene they had,
yeah.
she was literally his first scene was with her. She
Well,
was exponentially better in that scene.
I'm telling you, I believe there was a scene with him and his wife, the original terrorist and his wife Nicole, where he was doing a swing, and then I would watch her. She'll touch him, and then he'll stop swaying. And I think she was trying to,
The actress herself was
yeah,
probably trying to stop the swing because that's distracting.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
it's movement that wasn't asked for, and you're
yeah, yeah.
sitting there like this in the scene.
So, and I know she would touch him randomly like two or three times, and that, like I said, it could be acting. She could have just been showing affection, but I felt like it was like when I would see him sway, she would touch him, and then he would stop swaying. So I was like, oh, I think that was her trying to like calm his nerves down. If he's nervous that he can't remember his lines, and maybe he struggled with that at the beginning and struggled with the speed of the show, like you said, not really having soap experience. And I think that because she has soap experience. So
Yeah, she
I,
has
I
soap
was,
experience.
I think she really was like trying to, but obviously, what you can't have that, right? You can't have people trying to figure out ways to work around calm, keeping them from swaying or whatever. And you know,
We
like
can't keep helping you, brother. You got to stand still if you want. Oh my gosh, I
yeah,
feel bad too because roles are hard to get these days,
yeah,
and
yeah,
we're part of like Hollywood kind of going through a serious drought. So I do understand where it's kind of like you got to take it where
yeah.
you get it,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
if you drop the ball, someone else is right there to pick it up when you
Yeah.
drop it. So I mean, best of luck to Maurice. I mean, he has some. Jones Plantation and other projects that have been done, and so
I've been working on this field all day
I think
long,
he's in Jones
boy.
Plantation from the way it looks. He's dressed really well. I'm saying in that movie, and if you,
He's is it his
I
plantation or
think
he's the
it might they might
overseer?
be showing like
Oh, don't do the
one of the
black.
plantation owners. I think so.
Don't.
I don't know. I've never
Rolls are really tight then if that's where you're
with the
doing.
new 2023
And
film. We'll have to see.
I'm not saying that that didn't exist
Well,
in
you
our.
didn't finish watching the behind the scenes. You didn't give it enough chance to see.
Well, you got to support your bro.
Okay, on to the next.
All
Oh, you
right.
got the cork board. Oh, it's behind. Where is the cork board? I'm supposed to
It's
see
on
it.
your side. I know we're
It's like right
mirrored.
behind
Yeah,
it.
we're mirrored.
Okay, yeah. We're not using the cork board tonight.
No, not tonight, but
But
we will be in the future because unlike Shayla will be using the corkboard more than this director, producer, writer has used the cork his corkboard to break down. Well, now that you brought it up, explain what a corkboard could be used for.
so in writers' rooms, typically they're whiteboards, and they
Yeah,
might
I
use.
was thinking that we should get a whiteboard.
You should get a whiteboard, and they've cork. Some of them use corkboard still too. Cards is a system that has been used in television production, and a lot of I know Dee Reese specifically said she does cards too as a filmmaker, but it basically allows us to kind of
Let's see how much they cost.
board out
Mm-hmm.
our story structure, so our story arcs in the project, and our character arcs and storylines within the project and scenes as well. So we are able to kind of, especially if we're building out a season, we're able to kind of mix and match scenes to figure. I mean, now we do things a little bit more digitally now,
Yeah.
but when we used to do in-person work at production companies, we are outsourced to work on a series. We would always have our big boards in either the showrunner's office, or if it was kind of within a bullpen, where we would have our cork board of all of the scenes with each character, and that would be how we would structure out episodes.
So, with all that being said, this writer, director, producer, actor, what
Yeah.
else?
He's a multi hyphenate,
I
yeah.
think that's it. Um, he his name is, if you don't know, Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry. And he's recently
He
dropped
gets so much real estate. Like I can't.
dropped a trailer for an upcoming movie called Straw with Taraji P. Henson. Mind you, he has another series coming out. I think a two-part series coming out in July and August. But this one is. I mean, would you do you want to give a little bit of the background, or you
I
just
know
want to
things
watch the
about the
trailer?
movie.
Well, not the background of the movie.
Oh, this
Background
is
of
of course starring Taraji P. Henson, who we actually really love as an actress, fellow HBCU grad. But an article came out recently about the film where they talked about how they filmed this project in 4 days.
yeah.
I worked on a short film 2 years ago, and I couldn't get everything I needed for the project in 4 days, which is why I've never released the project. And I want to reshoot it anyway because my first 2 days of filming, I felt like I couldn't use anything. And then my last 2 days of filming was
Mm.
up for debate too if I could use anything. And so that and that's a short. That project would have probably ended up being between 17 edited between 17 and 25 minutes.
Yeah.
This is a feature, and he shot a feature length film in 4 days. Now I know he has the B behind him now, the billionaire status. He's got the lot in Atlanta. You know, he can make the phone calls and get actors, but I don't know. I We'll probably watch it and give it a review when it does come out
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we're gluttons for punishment, and we
Well,
keep
also
doing it.
Taraji.
And we love Taraji, but we keep doing it to ourselves. Like with him, and like we know what we're gonna get. We did six triple. We did all of them. I mean, since we've started, doing these platforms,
Yeah, yeah.
we've done the Homecoming where
Oh yeah.
he did Beyonce drag for like the whole end credits of the film. We did what's the other one?
I don't know. You said six triple A.
Acrimony.
Oh, Jasmine Blues.
Jasmine Blues. We couldn't even finish the last 20 minutes of that.
Yeah.
And we did. Rel kind of likes to troll me and watches the
Oh,
series around me, so
damn, I
he
forgot
could
that last
get reactions from me.
the last series that he did. I forgot. I did try to
He
watch
did
it. It was on
six
Netflix.
Beauty in Black or
Beauty in Black. It was a two-parter.
he does that. Rel will watch
I
them.
couldn't finish it. I
He
couldn't
couldn't.
finish it.
We did. You said 6 888, and
Yeah.
then we did. It was one after that.
After six,
Duplicity.
duplicity.
You
Yeah,
say the yarn should tell you all.
I know.
We did Duplicity. Rough. Like I mean, I can't even tell you what it's
That one
about.
was disrespectful
It was
too.
disrespectful
Not
because
just
it
rough. It
made
was
light of
disrespectful.
unarmed black men getting shot by the cops. I mean, it was just so much going on. And it's just always so much going on. I think that's another thing too. But glad to see Taraji, back in front of the big screen again. It has been, I don't think since, I don't know, have we seen her anything since the Color Purple musical? But when she
Oh.
played Suge, but I mean, this is what he does, right? Like, because it's like a dry period in Hollywood right now, and a lot of vets aren't getting the calls like they
Mm-hmm.
used to because, especially when you start making a certain amount of money, the calls start slowing up because they don't want to pay those
Yeah.
that, they don't want to blow up their budget and pay vets what they're worth. So it's like Taraji, Tyler Perry will kick you like $1 million for a 4-day shoot, as
Mm.
an A-list actress. And so that's been his thing. So we're gonna watch the trailer with you guys and we'll react to it after.
Well, someone probably did. I'm gonna give commentary during. Trust me. But
Yeah,
yeah,
this is
after.
how we watch stuff too.
Yeah,
And sometimes I'm trying to figure things out too, like if it's a mystery and this, so I don't even get to figure it out for myself.
I know.
He's like the black people in the movies where you're like, dang, why I still talk like how y'all whisper in the movies, you're like this black people came in here and that's real.
I've been trying to do better though. Like Sinners, I
You
mean,
did a great job with Sinners.
yeah,
I was probably more talkative in
yeah, he
Sinners than
was.
you. But I remember now I don't mind people talking in the movies. I will say that unless it's like truly distracting.
Yeah,
When we saw Queen and Slim, this brother in there was giving some of the best commentary in life. He wanted to take Queen out back and like because they did Jodie Turner Smith wrong in that, but whatever.
well, one of the before we do this, since we're talking about Tyler Perry and we were talking about talking in the movie theaters, the one time we went to see what Nobody's Fool,
Yes, I was getting ready to
this
say I can
dude,
do bad, but I was like I can't because
this
they all got these names.
this dude next to me couldn't catch his breath. He was reaching out to me. He was laughing. Oh, oh Lord. Oh, this is so funny. Oh, save me. Oh Lord. And I'm like, yo, bro, I'm not here to help you. This movie's trash. Me and Shayla was just sitting there stone cold, like, what?
It was
And
so
the
bad.
whole movie theater is laughing, rolling on
We
the
probably looked
floor.
like such sour pussies in that movie. But it was all over the place. I couldn't figure out if Amari Hardwick was truly trying to have like he wanted a relationship. Tika Sumpter didn't, and sometimes Tika Sumpter didn't, and he went on about his. It was so, and then the Tiffany Haddish of it all was a lot. And wasn't Whoopi a mother in there?
Yeah.
I'm like, he stay getting Whoopi Goldberg,
She gets a nice little $1 million check,
which
like you
I'm not
said.
mad about because Whoopi has earned
He
her
got
place. EGOT, but it's just like when you get an actress that strong, that's what you throw her in.
as what you, well, that's all he got.
And well, I'm saying for Color Girls though, she was one of those monologues. Like there was like a good, I'll say 4 monologues that just like ate in that film. It was, of course, Felicia Rashad, Whoopi, Tandy Newton,
Mm.
Tessa Thompson. That's when she stood out to me, honestly. Like, because I didn't watch Veronica Mars when it first came out, so I didn't
Oh yeah.
know her as an actress then. But when I saw her announce, like, who is this girl? And next thing you know, she was in Creed, and the rest is history. But
Yeah. All right, so let's check this out, man. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got. Netflix. Straw. Oh Lord. Oh, got the glizzy. Ha ha. Gang
I
gang.
didn't mean to do
yeah, that's
this.
Sherry Shepherd because I forgot she.
Something inside of me broke.
Oh.
I told them
Tiana Taylor don't.
Tiana Taylor's pop
She got a
everywhere.
full beat as a cop. Let's go.
I know, full beat. The wig is tight.
Oh, she caught a body.
Please.
Caught a body but a week
Come on
ago.
now. I just want to do what's right for my baby.
Whoop.
Is this like John Q?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
The internet.
good.
I didn't want to tell you that's what the internet was like. He just ripped off John Q.
We need to figure this out. I don't want you to get hurt. I got put out today. We have nowhere to live.
Oh, look at that time. Oh.
What? Oh. Why are they pulling out guns? What is going on? Where is she work at? They have.
me from robbing this bank and I didn't do it.
Oh.
You can't help me. Nobody ever helps me.
What?
This is bad, Janaya.
Now I'm swaying.
Tiana Taylor got the best beat and setup I've ever seen on.
Oh my god.
It seems like you had a lot to get over today.
It's the last straw.
Oh, come on.
I get it now. I get it. Okay. The last straw.
Someone needs to stop this man. Seriously.
Ah,
Oh, God.
now I get it. The last straw. I was like, it's an interesting name for a movie, Straw. It's like, is she gonna be thirsty in it? I don't know. But okay. So yeah. One thing I noticed, Taraji P. Henson was really sweaty.
She was
She's
very
very sweaty in that trailer.
Why was nobody else hot?
I know. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Go ahead. I mean, it's not too much I can say. I'm done. I'm so over it. I just can't. Uh,
Okay, so I guess one of the things, if like the internet basically says all the time, is like, why it has to be some black woman, black mama that's down on her luck, that just the world just kicks her while she's down and gets even worse. And it's like, I don't know.
especially if it's not a love story where a man comes in and saves her, because that's his other favorite thing.
So yeah, and I don't know. I just find it weird that it's it's his films just follow some type of trope in it, right? Where it's just, and it's a trailer. The trailers are supposed to be exciting, so I will reserve a full judgment until I see it, or maybe just look what the critics say. But
I know, 'cause I don't know if I can watch that. I'm sorry.
but it's just a lot is going on in that. It is just a lot. There was like, okay, so she went in to go rob a bank supposedly from the trailer. But then
She in with Glenn Turman.
then it was
Was that
that,
a check cashing place?
and it was like,
Who's in the back? I'm so confused. Like, who robbed her? And it like was a simple room too, so I couldn't even. And you know what I hate too? It's the nondescriptness of the
yeah,
locations too, where you can't really decide, is she in the bank? Is she in another place? Like when she was at the cashier station in the grocery store and someone went through a bottle at her, which I would love to know what that was about. Uh, I knew where she was. Could describe because it looked like a grocery store. So many of his in the bank
mhm.
with the teller windows looks like a bank, but he is good for a nondescript thing in there.
Yeah.
And daggone it, his projects, because those look like the same ones from Daddy's Little Girls. The it's like
I I have a theory. I think someone maybe came up in the supermarket, right? And that was a back room in the supermarket with the safe. Maybe
oh
they
yeah,
went to
yeah,
rob
yeah.
it.
I don't know how they got back there, but okay.
And then somehow either they kidnapped her daughter or something like that, where they're forcing her to go rob this bank. I think that's what the
So
story
now,
is.
honey, you might be TPS if you need a friend.
4 days, and half that day he wrote the script. So no, I don't know if he wrote the script in half a day,
He wrote that the week prior.
but yeah. So I I don't know. I feel like I mean, I'm beyond giving this man a chance. And then some of the scenes, and for example, even in the trailer, some of the scenes look like they were lit well, and then I could point out some scenes that I felt wasn't lit really
He
well.
takes days off.
So I don't know. Like, let me see. Let's see if I can scroll through a little bit. Who is this? But see, he looked like he in on it. Oh no, he ran up on her. Okay, so like this looks like, and then this is super clean, right? But then interior is shot dirty, and it's like no
We need
consistency
to figure this
to
out.
like.
I don't want you to get
What
hurt.
All right,
color
see, like
was that
like
with
this
the
is.
all the people outside the bank? It's one woman. Who do they think is in there?
I don't know. I don't
And
know.
why the cars spread out like they
Look how overlit that is.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It rained the same day she got kicked out. I'm so confused. Was
Maybe
it funny?
maybe she's doing
I mean, this.
a Marion and dancing. You got served.
Yeah.
Mm.
I would even take that because at least it would be him trying something creative.
You talking about those cars?
Yeah, go. I need to. It's the drone shot, and I still don't think he used a drone, but whatever.
Let's see.
It's before the rain.
Oh, right before the rain. Okay, so it's
No,
right.
right, not right. It's like when Sherry Shepherd says something to her.
All right, so let's play from here.
Except she was close up. Yeah.
Tell them close the blinds.
That is the emptiest parking lot for a bank robbery I've ever seen in my. And it's like 2 cops per car. Like, I wouldn't have done a drone shot if it looked like that.
There's no SWAT.
It's no SWAT. No.
Yeah.
He does no research too. I'm kind of getting tired of that too. Like how like if you're gonna do bank robberies and stuff, like look at how. I mean, if he even copied other movies,
Yeah.
hell, John Q.
Yeah.
If you just took that blueprint and just slapped some new idea on it, like he does, just so the like, just so you have something that looks like you've done. I don't know. I just can't. I'm sorry. I can't even get my words because I'm just so tired of it. Like it just he has deals with everybody. I'm telling you, if platforms ever watch us, like the streaming platform, no, and I'm being serious because it's like it's a lot of people. Like I'm not even just talking about myself who would love to have the real estate he has. It's a lot of us out here that are writing, they're taking our time to draft things and really want an opportunity to have our stories seen by so many people. But it's like he's shooting movies in 4 days, and it's kind of I don't know. Like Rel and I were looking at the box office numbers of this year earlier today, and number two for the right now we're 2025. We were just to stop 2025 right now. We would look at box office numbers. Number two is Sinners, and it's an original IP. And you just look at the thought and the detail that was not just put into the script, but into every aspect of that film. And I'm not saying every filmmaker has to be the same. We wouldn't, the stories wouldn't be unique if they weren't. But he takes something he's seen before, he slaps something mediocre on it, he gets good actors, but then it's like,
Mm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's kind of like a reality showrunner.
Oh
too.
yeah.
He like finds who's popular right now, like the Tiana Taylor casting. And look, she's working. I will say, like she in everything right now. She's gonna be in a series on Hulu. She's gonna be in a film with Leonardo DiCaprio. That's Tarantino, right? Who's doing that one?
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not Wes Anderson because that's the other film, the Wes Anderson one.
No. Yeah. It's
I forgot who's doing that.
Yeah. Tiana Taylor.
Is it
No.
Fincher? It's not David Fincher, is it?
It is. I'll tell you. Um. No, because it's not.
It's Kubrick.
Kubrick.
Is Kubrick still alive?
I don't think so. You looking up to see if he's still alive?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Where's Tiana Taylor?
No, he died in 99.
Yeah, I was like, one. Okay, here we go. Who's the director? Oh, Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yes, Paul Thomas Anderson.
So yeah, she's doing big things.
So she's like and she's working.
She got a movie with the Affleck and the Damon guy.
movie is she in with him? Are they working on that?
Uh, Production. Principal started October 3rd. Expected to wrap December 11th. So it should be wrapped right now, right?
It filmed last year. It says release date will be 2025.
Yeah. So it was filmed already. Yeah.
So it'll be coming out this year on Netflix.
So she got a movie with
So
those
she's
two.
been busy. Like she's got a lot of projects coming out. And look,
Don't forget she's doing All Sphere.
I said it, the show.
Oh, you did?
I just refuse to say the name of it.
Oh.
And and so she's working, but it's like he knows she's popular right now.
Yeah.
And she's smart. You don't turn that when the phone rings. As when you're an actor, you pick up every phone.
Yeah.
So
Well, she's also probably going through a costly divorce as well. So, not to get in her personal life, but that lawyer fees and stuff like that. So, yeah, she ain't going to turn down a nice check.
Mother too. So it's like
And a mother too
and
as well.
living in both cities. She lives in New York and LA.
Yeah.
You can't, So
So, yeah, not to get in her personal life,
yeah,
but we just speculating.
book, but this is why you load up when especially when you can load your plate. You load your plate.
Yeah.
You get the offers.
I mean, you don't go from a movie with
I think that's where
Leonardo
it's weird.
DiCaprio, then another movie.
And Affleck and Damon. These are Academy Award winners out of those three you named. And then Tyler Perry calls, and you're like, I guess it's because of what he holds in the black community too. But I'm sorry, like, because someone asked me if he called. Someone asked me this earlier today. If he called, would I pick it up? And
To do what though? Because that's the issue. What position? If you're a writer, you literally are collecting a check because you don't get no say.
right. I'm just saying I don't know what
Direct the same thing.
yeah, or producer. I said no. And I am not in a position on the narrative side. I've been an unscripted producer, nonfiction from my entire career. So I'm not in a position to be like, I'm not gonna pick up the phone when somebody has a budget for a narrative project. But I do feel like I have to have standards.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds so rude, but it's and especially because like we eat our own as black people. I do get that. But it's just and I'm not saying you don't have people of different talents and levels of talent when you're talking about storytelling. But I mean, he on every major streaming platform, like every major streaming platform except Apple Plus.
Mm-hmm.
It's because Apple Plus is like, yeah, no, not over here. Like Apple Plus is very, very specific in what they greenlight.
Yeah.
In terms of storytelling, there's a reason that they shows is always popping up with some Emmy and Globe chats. But every other platform that except in Disney too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they haven't because sometimes they can do some things, but but it's like, and I like Disney, but sometimes they can.
Speaking of,
But yeah, I don't mean to be like it. I'm not angry. I kind of am though too, because it's just like why, like
why what?
first why did
Why just why just why it's just why I don't even.
his first look deals he has to fulfill.
Yeah.
So I get that. I mean, how do you feel though? Honestly, I could go on and on and on. I don't want to go on and on and on because I don't want to be blackballed in this business either, and he is somewhat of a gatekeeper. So I'm trying not to say anything. I'm just like I can't.
How do I feel? I feel like he saw opportunity, he took advantage of it, right? Like, and he used certain tropes that resonate in our community.
I mean, I almost feel like he's trolling though. That scene with the rain and her, what? Like, are you kidding me? Like,
Um, yes, no, I don't think he's trolling, but I do think because there's no one to tell him no, whatever idea pops in his head, he thinks
he
it's a good
became a
idea.
billionaire. So now it's like, who's gonna really go up? Who's gonna say it? I mean, now it's like, how do you even argue it, right? It's like I became a billionaire, and there's people that try harder that aren't.
I'm gonna tell you, the truth is, if you want him to be better or to stop making getting opportunities, is people need to stop watching his movies.
But it's a lot of, and we're in a hate watch society too. It's the reason Stephen A has the $100 million contract. It's like it's a reason that there's a lot of people who are popular that people are like, why are they popular? Because people will hate watch them too because they just can't help themselves.
Yeah.
So it's like he is a person that falls into that category where people will hate watch. And then there's a lot of people that love him too. There's
I
like
was gonna say we're also in celebrity worship too. So
and he's a rich celebrity. So I don't know. I mean, I love Taraji because we do our lives. We'll probably try to watch it. I don't know if it's sunny one moment and then the rain comes down for the screaming. I'm turning that you know what off. I just can't. So that's on to the next Ironheart trailer on Disney Plus.
all right, so we're gonna give our initial opinion, and I'm sure Shayla's gonna give her a very in-depth opinion about the criticism of this. But we haven't watched it. We have not. We're watching for the first time with y'all. So
But shout out to Dominique. He's a
um,
soul.
so throw the rocks up. I don't know who the showrunner of this series is.
And let me look.
Let's see. All right, should you know?
We should have had this prepared. Sorry,
It's all good.
showrunner. It's a mini series too. They're calling it.
Oh, so she's not getting another season. Damn.
It actually is Chanika Hodge.
Oh.
And oh, she's from the Bay too. So shout out. She went to NYU and University of she went to USC. And she went to USC for her MFA. So there's the Kluger connection there. Because Ryan Kluger's an EP on the series.
You're right. Oh, so
The Bay Area and USC.
So I mean, look, that before we jump into it, that's a good example of him giving I don't want to say giving, but um providing an opportunity for someone who've earned it, a black woman, you know, because I know that was kind of one me and Shayla's discussions was there are a lot of amazing black men who are doing great things in this industry, but it does, huh?
And partnering.
Yeah, and they're partnering, but it does feel like there's a lack of um collective with the black woman. You know,
We're going to talk about more in depth on another live.
Yeah.
But I think the thing too that's great about it is him understanding that to do a series with a black female lead, you should have it's best to have a black female showrunner, especially because it needs to be told from a feminine voice. So that's actually really cool.
All right, let's check it out though. Where they at though? All right. What you got, Disney? Okay. Director Sinners. Oh, of course.
Hello?
Did they say Wakanda Forever?
Yeah, well, it's Disney. They have to give all the. It says Black Panther and Wakanda.
Oh.
For real?
They're here tight though.
In less than 3 minutes, the air in this elevator will no longer be breathable.
Oh, what is this?
Your interview.
Interview.
You'll suffocate and die unless you break into the device on the floor.
She said the enemy?
Interview. This year. Interview.
Good luck.
Oh.
That's a salt?
Screw this.
This is why nobody can get a job. This is how interviews are now.
Interviews are. You got 3 minutes, sir.
They were like, this is very competitive these days to try to get a job.
I heard Riri Williams was a genius. So?
Oh, that's Anthony Ramos, the singer.
Oh.
I heard he was in it.
Wasn't he in
Riri, I see you
Transformers?
fed up, waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness.
I don't know why I did that.
You are not the first genius at MIT.
Oh.
How come you're not working at one of those fancy tech firms?
After my internship abroad, I built something undeniable. Something
Important?
Did his hair change?
iconic.
We grew it out.
I can give you the tools to help you carry out your vision. But anyone who's ever accomplished anything iconic in life has had to do some questionable things to get it done.
I definitely think he had more.
What will you do, Riri?
You've bitten off a hell of a lot more than you can chew. I could chew a lot.
Is that Lovely?
I don't even know who that is.
Keisha from
From where?
You know
Right.
nothing about
Oh.
this man.
Yeah, I told you. I thought he was.
You're gonna end up dead or in jail.
This is so much bigger than that.
Oh, that's fire.
That's fine.
Okay.
This is wild. A shady bunker.
My bunker's not shady. Would a shady bunker have that on the wall?
It's literally above a crate of self-guided missiles.
That
I'm returning those.
was cute.
It is cute.
All right. So, what are your thoughts on this one? So, as of right now, I don't know the exact numbers, but I think it had twice as many dislikes as it has likes for the trailer. Hey, you deep in thought.
I definitely am gonna support.
Okay.
I I really do like Dominic Thorne. What are some of the comments?
I want to. I want to create something iconic. Create something that already exists. I'm generally impressed by having disabled the comment. They impressed. They haven't disabled the comments. Keep your expectations low so you won't be disappointed. Did the genius just chew on a live wire? As an electrician, I too use my teeth to remove wire insulation.
Okay, guys, it's still a comic book based show.
Black character appears on screen. The music, it's rapping time. Oh Lord.
Let's stop reading the comments, please.
She-Hulk, I'm the worst. Ironheart, hold my. Ironheart get more screen time than War Machine ever did. Crazy. I thought she was gonna build a suit inside the elevator.
Okay, so we know people are gonna hate. Uh,
Okay.
we knew people were gonna hate because that's just kind of the thing that's happened with black female led shows lately. But I will just say that it's not my favorite trailer
Nope.
that I have seen from the Marvel Disney Plus universe.
Mm.
And I think because I think they showed us a little too much.
Okay.
I would have liked to not seen as much about what's going to happen in the series.
Well, it
You
seems
said,
like
we
the
already
twist.
found out that
Yeah.
Anthony Ramos is the villain.
Seemingly, yeah, he seems like he's a
So
villain.
I kind of would have liked for that to be something that we kind of, because you know why, and this is so awful to do this because you can't compare every project to the next, and that's a thing that plagues creatives. But even though he's not the showrunner, like Sinners really didn't fully have an idea of what Sinners was. You knew what it was about,
Yeah.
but you just didn't know how things transpired based on
Yep.
that
Yep.
trailer. And he's really
Like
good.
that, it was music so much infused into it, and that was basically what the crux of the
Like
film
he
was
was
about.
really about a juke joint until
Yeah.
he started doing the press tour.
Yeah. You just thought it was a horror film, but it turned out to be something much more.
Something much more. And I think I would have liked to have felt that from even with I mean, we all went into not knowing that Wakanda Forever was going to be without Chadwick, and found that trailer was amazing for
Mm-hmm.
that
Oh
film.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was just you wanted to go see it because it's like even though you kind of knew Shuri was going to be Black Panther,
Yeah.
you kind of still wanted to like who is going to be Black Panther because you didn't get to see the suit, you just saw the claws and the landing, and it
Mm.
was like, oh, this is really cool. Like towards the end of when she came off that ship, so it was just a lot of what they used with uh, Kendrick mixed with in terms of the
Yeah.
music, like, and that's another thing. Like the music was just. It's funny that someone cracked on it, like because
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Black character. Sorry that they used, you know, uh, I guess you could say music that resonates more with the Black community.
Of course. Yeah.
It's a library track too, so it wasn't like it was, you know, top 40. I mean, like so it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that. And I think that's the thing. Like, even though I know it's another showrunner, he still has his name on it as an EP. And I guess I would have just like
But he was busy.
he was busy doing Sinners. His trailers are so iconic.
They are.
Like I mean, like Ryan Coogler makes every part of his storytelling mean something. It's like
Yeah.
he makes everything a moment. And I think that that is why I'm just a little disappointed in the trailer, but I'm still going to watch. But I just feel because I think we need to support as much of our content as possible, and then our I'm not content as much as our series and films as possible, particularly with Black female leads, because that seems to be the first thing on the chopping block these days. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
Um, do I dislike it? That one's hard because I don't know if I don't dislike it enough for me to go and click the button to hit dislike, right?
Oh
Like
yeah, no, I
I
didn't.
just
It wasn't. I mean, it felt like a standard Marvel Disney Plus trailer.
and
I think that's where I was frustrated.
man, you just
Oh,
asked me,
sorry,
you
honey.
just hijacked
I'm
it.
so
Oh, go ahead, go ahead,
no,
go
no,
ahead.
no. Go ahead, go ahead. I want you to say
Um,
it first.
yeah, I don't think I want to put the effort in to hit dislike, but I will say, do I like it? The problem is it's Disney, right? Like I think a lot of people there seems to be a mixture of comments where it's just attacking the character, attacking like calling her a genius or something like that, right? Like, but or nitpicking like, oh, she bit a live wire. We don't know what the context of that is yet. I mean, like for you to sit down and take time to look at that moment and write a comment, and like the guy who said that he was an electrician is like,
Yeah,
what the
I
fuck?
mean,
As an electrician, you actually took time out to really comment on that from a trailer, right? Like you don't even know what the context is going to be in the series. And take it from us, like you're an electrician and we're storytellers. You there could be a little bit of context missing from that in the trailer, right?
because
Because
it's a trailer.
trailers are meant to just for excitement, exciting moments. That scene might not even be in the series.
Yeah, so they cut them before the final series is actually done. So, and the same with the promo,
Exactly.
yeah, the trailers, same for films. So,
But the problem is still these Disney set pieces.
oh,
It's just
God,
so this is what I can tell from just looking at it,
yeah,
right? That has nothing to do with the story. It still looks cheap, like a cheap
that's
Disney
the
set
thing. Yeah,
piece.
yeah.
Um, you know, it was from the trailer specifically, right? Like, I feel like there was a lack of weight and gravitas in this trailer that we're used to seeing from anything that comes under the Ryan Coogler flag. And I get it that he was probably busy and didn't get to oversee it. It seemed like a lot was cramped in to a small space where you even got a sense of what the twist may be.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then to be honest, I guess they're holding back on revealing how the suit is. I mean, we already seen her in a Ironheart suit, so why not just like let's feel it. Let's feel the Ironheart suit.
I
Let's
think we
see.
should get more into that.
Yeah,
It's kind of like, I don't know.
I don't need
We
an
are real.
origin.
For some reason, it is really a struggle, especially because what we saw with Black Lightning.
Mm.
It really is a struggle with the Black superhero series, like, and what happened with Nick Fury. I mean, it,
Secret agent, right? What?
yeah, Secret Agent. Like the only reason maybe Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I know people came in and hated on that
Yes, it
too,
did.
was because they made it a buddy thing,
Yeah,
and then of course there wasn't Anthony Mackie wasn't like the exact lead. So that was another reason why it wasn't so poorly
yeah.
executed, I should say. But and those are bad choices of words to use, but I think, like, honestly, so far, and of course we have not watched this yet, but like you said with the set pieces, some of the best Black superhero work we've seen, particularly even with any kind of comic book series, has been Luke Cage.
Oh yeah,
And I think
yeah,
because it did get filmed in New York,
yeah.
it used a lot of the grittiness in New York.
Yes.
They didn't make it shiny and pretty,
Nope.
and I think I mean, the acting, of course, was on another level.
Yeah.
Particularly from the villains. I think that, and a lot of the supporting characters, but I think that it just it's you know we understand. This is another thing too why I don't want to be hard on it till we watch too, and I don't want to be hard on it in general. Rel and I will tell you, when we get notes from the network, as we call it in the business, when we get notes from the network, what you could start out with look completely different on the other side of those notes. And sometimes they'll even be like, this isn't what we asked for, even though it's exactly what they asked for, but they just didn't know what it was going to look like until you answered those notes and tried to execute them to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
So we don't know what the notes look like from the studio and what they were asking for, and if that impacted the final product that we see now in front of us. And we don't even know what it looks like yet in series form because we're just seeing the trailer. But like you said, these set pieces in Disney,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna need y'all to stop. It's looking a little Tyler Perry-ish.
Yeah.
And y'all got too much money.
New adjective, Tyler Perry-ish.
They have too much money for it to look that way.
Agreed.
And I'm sorry, like, because that's Miss Marvel was a really well done series.
I was just thinking that too. So yeah, I was just thinking that because I was gonna say, if this skews a little younger, right? Like this is an Iron Man, so a lot of men who are commenting on this, I think it's weird, misplaced energy.
Yeah, that's weird.
This is probably more comparable to a Miss Marvel than it would
You're
be,
not the demographic.
yeah, or uh, uh, Sinners, Mary, Hawkeye, and
And I know y'all was watching that because the way y'all have been commenting on her,
where that this is
you
more
know, you didn't have no problem with Hawkeye.
so this is more comparable to like the Young Avengers, and I don't think that you should compare her to Robert Downey Jr. or compare this to
Yeah,
anything that Iron Man would have. So it's going to have a little bit more fun and lighter tone, more than likely, closer to like a She-Hulk as well. And I think that we should one, give it a watch because I wasn't completely sold on Miss Marvel off the first
yeah.
trailers too, and then I love that series.
That
Like,
series is really well
and
done.
it's actually reviewed really, really high and really, really well. So I think everyone rushing. I mean, because we have to be very careful. We're in a culture now where the first person to say the meanest thing that can go viral, that could get a lot of attention, I guess, gives them some type of gratification. And instead of actually like, just, all right, let's wait and see. Let's give uh, criticism that what's the word?
Oh, constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism. Give constructive criticism that maybe they can take and implement to make it better.
Stuff just because a black woman is in it. Good lands, y'all was so quick to jump on that. I don't know what that's about. I really want to know what black women did to y'all. I'm serious. Like it's like out of control. Because half y'all ain't even met black women and attack black women. It's wild. And then the ones that have black mamas and y'all attack black women, it just takes me to a whole. I'm just like, wow, this is fascinating. I guess because I didn't grow up like that.
Maybe that's a whole nother live in itself.
It really is because it really is a whole nother life. Like, because I have a younger brother, and like he was constantly trying to find someone that he felt like, was similar to our mother in terms of. So this whole thing of like having this visceral reaction to black women being black men, it is really uncomfortable for me. I just don't even understand the I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird behavior. It just is. And it's just like you'll just attack it just because.
Yeah.
And I mean, my reasons for it was like I said, I didn't want to see a majority of the series in the trailer. And I'm kind of tired of the spending for series when we're apart. Like our budgets are always so low.
Yes.
And so I still look like Tyler Perry said. You know what I mean? Like it's just like that's where my criticisms come from. And because the executive team behind it doesn't they put out exceptional work. So, that was where I was kind of stunned. But I also, again, like I said, from the standpoint of Rel and I understanding what it's like when you get notes from those that
Mhm.
who you work for, Disney, it can impact how the final look of your project looks as well.
Yeah.
And they are a very huge studio with a lot of reach. So we don't know what factors came into like how the final trailer was cut, what the series itself looks like. It's a lot. It's not just the people that write the series and film the series and act in the series. There's a lot of people who make the final decision on what we're watching. And 9 times out of 10, it's not the boots on the ground
Yeah.
that put the series together that are presenting you with the product you're seeing. And not to say that it makes it better or for worse, because it could be an exceptional piece of work.
Yeah.
But one of the things is that it also isn't there. We always tend to like our first cut of something because it's the cut we get to put ourselves through.
Mm-hmm.
Once you go through processes of notes, it changes a lot of things. So we don't know what that factor is. And we also are just having a visceral reaction to it, or just having an initial reaction to what we just saw.
Yeah.
But I liked her character in Wakanda Forever.
Yep.
I thought, it
I
was
like the character, but remember, we felt you felt like they were cramming too much into that
I
movie.
did feel like that. Probably because it was multiple, it was a lot of deaths.
Yeah.
I think that if we had pulled back on the Angela Bassett death, I probably, that Riri's edition wouldn't have really, and that was another thing too. We're introducing a whole other culture.
Mm-hmm. But don't remember, we followed the CIA agent and his.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So if we had maybe dropped that and not the Angela Bassett death,
Yeah.
but again,
Then Michael B. Jordan in the
I
plane.
know.
It was a lot
The
going on.
plane,
The planes, the astral
oh,
plane,
the astral plane. Oh, you talking about the ancestral plane?
ancestral plane. Yeah.
Because I was like, he was in a plane. It's like, man, did I step out for that? This is where I agree with you, but I feel like it's something too with Black projects with Marvel, where they do us dirty. I don't know what it is, and again, I don't want to shoot myself in the foot with people I might want to work with in the future, but they do us dirty because Brave New World.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I love that they implemented a character from the original Hulk.
Yeah.
Well, not original Hulk, but second Hulk.
Second original.
Second original.
The first reboot of the original.
Like years apart too. It was like
Yeah.
2 or 3 years apart. I like that they did. Wasn't it was like 5 years, right, between the two? Because one was
You
like
might.
2002, 2003, and then the next one was like
What's even that? How I felt like it was
I
like.
forgot what. But I like that. But then, like bringing the Hulk in, Red Hulk, it was just like a lot going. And he had to clear the name of the super soldier.
Yeah.
So it was like a lot that had to happen in that, and they always doing it to the why do blacks always got so much stuff we got to deal with?
Mm-hmm.
Like Black Panther, one villain, well, two, I guess you could say, with Claw. But you eliminate him
Yeah.
fast, and then you just got to worry about Killmonger,
Yeah.
which was so, again, he's such a good storyteller. If you think about it, it was like how we fight at home and we disagree on
Yeah.
so good. But I digress. I go back to saying this, that I'm going to give the series a chance.
Yeah. And you should too.
And I think you all
Film
should
crew.
too. Film crew. And stop hating on sisters online, please. Dang on it. We are not a monolith. Everyone is not the same. So if you had an experience with one sister that was bad, can you not punish the whole group of sisters because you didn't have a bad experience with one? Lord have mercy. And sorry, I love the fact that little girls at home are going to see a Black female superhero. I didn't get to see that growing up. I didn't have Black female superheroes I got to see growing up. So I love the fact that now little girls get to see that look like me.
Yeah.
So when you're sitting at home hating and thinking of what rage comment you could make to piss somebody off, can you think about it from the standpoint, and if you hate Black women, that's cool, but if any of you have nieces, if if you have a daughter and she is not of one particular, if she's multiracial, she still has a piece of you in there. So part of her is a Black person. Think about her seeing someone that looks like her.
Yeah.
As a superhero and thinking, gosh, I might be able to do what this young lady
Yeah.
does. So look at it from that standpoint before you just want to go and make a nasty comment. Sorry.
I think my stance is show a little grace, you know what I mean? Is the trailer good? No. I'll be honest, I don't think it was a good trailer. However, I don't also think that we need to rush and say the meanest things possible because Shayla pointed out it's this is just for the trailer. We don't even know if the series is good or not. But the trailer, the showrunner may not have had anything to do with the
Oh,
trailer.
yeah.
Because Marvel and Disney, you gotta remember, it's two executives, two studios, that they could have been working with the trailer house and just shuffling those back and forth, and then that's what came out of it. So let's not beat up on the people who put their heart and soul into making this series. First knowing where to point that energy into,
Yeah.
like I said, give constructive criticism, or keep your opinion to yourself and reserve it for the series. But like, to rush and be the first one to say the most negative thing as a badge of honor is pretty pathetic and sad to me. Like, I just like, that ain't just really my MO. We try to create, and if you're gonna be around watching our content, we trying to create a positive space for creatives, and we accept constructive criticism. But if you just hating just to hate, we're gonna have to excommunicado. You know what I mean? So, but with this, yeah, it's just it is what it is. It's like a Marvel. Right now, where Marvel is at, this is like what
They're in a
Shayla.
rebuilding. They're in a rebuilding period too. I feel like, and say what you want to say about how y'all came for Brave New World and other, Wakanda Forever. We still did the numbers. So Black people still, we still want to see ourselves. So, out of films that have been released in 2025 so far, Brave New World is number 3 after Sinners. So despite it maybe not as a collective piece of work, maybe being one of the stronger Marvel projects, Anthony Mack is an exceptional actor. The brother that played the super soldier, dope. And, the young man that played his sidekick in the film, fantastic. Of course, we all know who Harrison Ford is and what he brings to the table. And then Zosa Rockmore, who is also in Forever, plays Keisha's mother. Shelley was Secret Service. She was exceptional. So, really strong cast that deserves their, and you, again, like Rel said, you don't know, when you're talking about 2 different studios involved in you do not know how many hands are telling you. You will be surprised. Layers of notes that we go through and I know you also know, on a reality show, on one reality episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how long it takes to edit a season, because a network will go back and forth with the company they've outsourced to just make one episode. So I want to just, like Ralph said, give them grace. And one of the things I love about, especially with Black females, we will come together and support. So Black females, let's put our arms around this young woman. She's also a Delta, Sigma Theta sorority. Put our arms around her, support, and watch this series and run the numbers, run them up, because there is a thing. It's been already listed as a mini series, which means they're not even talking a second season, which I don't like. And I don't like that we're seeing a disappearing presence of Black women. That's something Ron and I are going to talk about on another live, on television in lead roles.
Yeah.
And so I think we need to support, as much as we can. And again, like Ross said, it's a trailer park that did that trailer.
Yeah.
So the incredible showrunner that is behind this, they've sent what was filmed to that trailer park. And then she might even watch them and been like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know what her reaction was. So
yeah.
I think we should definitely, again, let's try to table the hate. This country is boiling over with too much crazy anyway. We don't need to add to it. Creativity is supposed to be escapism for us. It's supposed to allow our minds to, that's why creativity is so cool. It's supposed to unlock parts of your brain that don't normally function on an everyday basis, because you have to think so analytically. So that's just allow people to dream and go to places that we didn't think we were going to be able to go before, and just enjoy it for what it is, and stop making everything something that's like negative because you hate a particular race, group of people, or a particular sex, or
political affiliation.
Yeah, let's not make it about that. Enjoy it for what it is.
Yep. Or dislike it. I mean,
if you don't want to dislike it, just go somewhere else and do it. Don't bring it in here.
Yeah, you just don't have to rush to like beat your chest and be like, I said the most insulting thing possible, and I'm pretty sure I know what type of people y'all are that say that.
And I didn't.
It's never done anything.
Thing I saw about Salt, because I know what y'all gonna say, but you talked about Tyler Perry. I saw it was done in 4 days, and because I tried to do a short film in 4 days, and that wasn't enough time for me, I think that's why I reacted the way I did about a feature. And I've done Tyler Perry before. Like, it's not like it's you know what I'm saying? I've never, unfortunately, I haven't seen much of the showrunner's work. And but I also know with Ryan
Yeah,
Coogler
that's
being the
different.
EP, it's different. So it's different. So I still don't know. I can't speak on that. We know what Homeboy does. Like we've watched it for several years now, and so hearing it was filmed in 4 days, and then kind of seeing some of the I guess you could say the on-set photos and the screen grabs of the film, I was like,
Well, my thing about Tyler Perry and why I dislike his content and why listen, and if you watch back, I didn't say anything defaming the man or anything like that. I feel like his films portray black women specifically in such a poor light, and I think that warrants negative attention. And I don't believe that he deserves any love for the way he portrays. See, this is trying to uplift.
yes, the
Now,
girl's a genius.
so if you don't like the way it looks, the vibe, whatever, that's cool. But that's different. Where Tyler Perry has more than enough projects where he's destroying black women, destroying the image of the black woman, destroying the image of a dark skinned black man. For a light skinned, comparing to a light skinned man coming in and making her, saving the day. Like he's done a lot of things that I think are very negative to our culture, negative to American culture and black culture,
Mhm.
and and so yeah, I want him to be stopped from being able to make that type of content. But this, we don't even know. We don't know much about the showrunner's background. She hasn't made 30 Disney or Marvel projects. So I like I said, like, and this is just a trailer. So let's wait for the series. That's what I say.
Until then, film crew, it has been a pleasure. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're gonna have more exciting stuff coming up for you this week, and we are on every day at 5. If it changes, we will give you a heads up. But 5 o'clock, we're gonna step on location. We're gonna step into the edit bay. We're gonna step into the dub, the I'm sorry, the VO session, and step into the mix
Yep.
when you have to do your QC and go through. So we'll be doing all of that with you guys on upcoming things. We don't want to spoil what we have coming up, but we will see you tomorrow.
RELL is hard as